Good morning, Z.E.R.T Nation. XP001 here. Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Hate. Today we're going to talk about attack on principle, or in the close protection realm, we call AOP. Now, for this video, we're going to talk about a AOP on our principle in a walking formation or protective diamond. Most attacks historically have occurred during arrivals and departures, and the reason being is that if you have someone doing hostile surveillance on a house, building, or business, your client has to go home sometime, has to go to work or leave the residence, so they build that pattern and coordinate by their hostile surveillance when's the best time and when we're most vulnerable for that attack, which are commonly arrivals and departures. So in this diagram here, we have our little motorcade. Bear with me on my chicken scratch. We have our C for the client, and we have a very standard diamond formation. Now, in hostile environments, corporations, whatever, like I've talked about before, your protective diamond is based off the environment, the threat level, and the client's wishes. But for right now, we're going to talk about a standard diamond formation with 5 agents. Okay? Right now we have our client. Next to the client is what we call the AIC, or the agent in charge. He's pretty much coordinates and runs the entire detail, and he is the sole coordinator with the client. Then that trickles down to your detail leader or your shift leader, however size your detail is. So now, we'll just say this is a building here. Vehicles just rolled up, and we have our diamond formation walking to a location. Right? So now all of a sudden, let's just say 2 bad guys pop out to do harm. Right? So they present themselves as a threat, and let's just say they could be knife wielding or gun wielding. What's going to happen is the lead or your left or right rear security is going to basically call contact front or contact 12 o'clock, whatever formation. These guys are going to move up basically to create a wall and begin engaging those threats. At that time, the AIC is going to grab the client and do a 180 and putting his body between the fire or the attack, of his body between the client and the attack. At this point, the rear security is going to do a 180, and he's going to rush back to the car and open the door so they can shove the client in. AIC goes in, and the tail gets in the car, and they punch out and get off the X. Meanwhile, while the agents handle this threat. Now, there are many ways, what we call indexing or recalling after a threat or after attack on principle. Once again, that dictates on the environment, the threat level, where you're at, and how much manpower you have. But for the time being, I hope this basically gives you a general idea how a protective formation will come up. Now, when they create this wall, they may not be sandwiched together, but all they're doing is they're getting online and basically handling that threat, hopefully overwhelming them with either physical force or firepower, while the AIC puts his body between the threat and the client, and the rear punches back. So, down and dirty, simple. I hope this clarifies some things. Now, if the attack came from the left, okay, let's just say we have our diamond formation here, right? Got our AIC right there, and our client, right? Now, basically, if a threat emerged to the right, they'll call, contact right, contact 3 o'clock. Basically, the lead comes up online, the rear comes up online, the AIC gets between the threat and the client, and the left security basically punches out to the direction, and the AIC client follow him. So basically, if you end up being that rear guy in that AOP, the attack on principle, right when you see your guys going up, handling business, AIC turning, You're turning, and the first thing you're doing is looking for the next position you're going to, regardless if it's a vehicle, a doorway, or some type of safe haven to get your client off the X. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coffee and Hate. I'm XP001. Out. Crush the day, guys. See you tomorrow.
The ZERT membership pack is your gateway to a worldwide organization dedicated to building a safe and trained community armed with the proper mindset to see you and your family through to safety. The first-year membership pack includes ZERT 702 black t-shirt, 5-inch ZERT 702 patch in PVC, your call sign and squadron assignment, ZERT membership certificate, official membership card with your call sign, 10 ZERT recruitment cards, access to discounts from ZERT-approved vendors, 15% off most ZERT merchandise year-round. In addition to the membership pack, once you join, you receive the following privileges: access to the ZERT forum and exclusive online videos, access to training events and special forces instructors, training cost is additional, members-only newsletter, admittance to over 90 private squadron and state Facebook groups, attend members-only events, participate in contests and giveaways. Join us today and get started meeting the members in your area. Privileges are just that and can be revoked at any time. Management reserves all rights. Facebook rules and regulations apply. ZERT, not just an organization, it's a lifestyle. ZERTNation.com